I really hope I don't get a copyright strike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm RJ Ronquillo. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. So you may have seen this new plugin making the rounds, and I'm pretty stoked that I finally got my hands on it. I'm talking about the Neural DSP Archetype Rabea plugin. And in this video, I'm going to show you some of the features as well as demo for the first time some of the cool sounds that are in this plugin. I will tell you right now, this is one of the coolest guitar plugins I've ever tried out. So many cool sounds. Let's check it out right now. So if you're new to the Neural DSP stuff, basically the Archetype plugin is kind of like their signature series plugin. They make a Tosin Abasi version, they make a John Petrucci version, they make a Corey Wong version. So the Archetype Rabea is the signature plugin of Rabea Massaad. You've probably seen them all over YouTube, maybe on stage, maybe on recordings. And by the way, for this, I will be using an old Hawkpicks Rabea signature. Now, I just want to quickly go over some of the features of this plugin, what's included, but I'll tell you that this comes with a ton of presets, not just factory presets, but presets made by Rabea himself, as well as other favorite guitar players like Mark Lettieri, Tom Quayle. But before we get into all the cool presets, I just want to show you what's all included, starting with the amps, I guess. Let's start with the amps. So it comes with 3 new amps, basically named Clean, Crunch, and Lead. And something that you'll notice with this plugin, as well as most of the Neural DSP stuff, is the graphics are pretty cool. It almost reminds me of like a cross between like a video game or some kind of like Clash of the Titans thing, or like this almost reminds me of like a Stranger Things thing. So I just want to run through the basic tones of these amps by themselves without any effects pre or post. So you get a feel for what the actual just amps alone sound like. So here's the Clean. You've got a little mid bump that I have engaged. Here's without it. And you also got a bright switch. Moving on to the second amp, the Crunch. Now, I should tell you that this is kind of the first time I'm checking out all of these sounds. So some of the controls might be new to me, but you do also have a mid bump and a bright. Of course, gain, EQ, a depth knob, and then I guess you could switch here between EL34s and 6L6s. Moving on to the Lead, this looks super cool. A little more gain, of course. We got a tight knob. Just to tighten up the bottom end. EQ, of course, master presence, depth again. And also you got the EL34 6L6 switch. So those are the amps itself, but the money of this plugin is in the effects. Before I get to the gravy, let's check out these pre-effects. So it comes with a dual compressor, octaver, fuzz, and overdrive. Maybe let's check them out in front of a clean amp. Dual compressor. Keeps everything nice and tight. We got the Chaos Bed octaver. So it's got a modern and vintage switch, and you've got control over octave up, octave down, and your direct signal. So let's put them all towards the So it's not really an octavia. It's more like a octave up, octave down, kind of like a Pog. Vintage mode. Okay, that might start sounding like an octavia. We got the Colossus fuzz here. Also with a modern vintage switch. Stick that with the octaver and see what happens. Nice. Octave up, maybe? Oh, that's going to be fun. And then you've got this nice little Paragon overdrive here. Actually, let's try that out with the crunch. I'm curious. So we're going to stay on the crunch amp for a second, and I want to show you some of the speaker cabs and the IRs. You know, like all of the neural DSP archetype stuff, you have a choice of many different speakers, microphone combinations, IRs. You can load your own IRs. To be honest, I tend not to mess around too much with this. I think whatever they usually have stock built into the preset works great. You've also got a post EQ if you really want to tweak your tone. And also in many of the neural DSP stuff, you get post effects, like time-based effects. You've got delay and reverb. These work really great. Here's a delay. Stereo delay. Hopefully you can hear it on your end. I'm not sure. The reverb. You've got this freeze switch, which kind of holds it out for you. You've also got this pitch knob, which, let's see if I tweak it up to 5. It actually pitch shifts the sound that you're freezing, if that makes any sense. But we're going to take it back to the very first thing, which I haven't showed you yet, and this is kind of like the new of the new in this plugin. It is the Overlord Synth, which is a type of new kind of mono synth. Now, I haven't tried this on its own. I've only tried it in the presets, so this is kind of new for me. I guess you click on that light. Now, I don't know a ton about synths and control, but there's a lot of knobs here. It looks like you can mix in your regular guitar signal with it. That's cool. Ooh. It's also got an arpeggiator. With a ton of functionality. You can select minor or major. Different arpeggiation patterns up. You can go over 2 octaves. Or even lower. You can select which notes are going to be part of the whole arpeggiation. Let's select them all, see what happens. It just plays the scale. So if I want to do like root, third, fifth, seventh octave. Very Stranger Things. You can slow it down. Maybe 1/8. A lot of fun with the arpeggiator. And then you got all these oscillators and all this stuff. Filtering. I don't know much about this stuff. Like I said, the presets that it comes with is more than enough for you to get started with this plugin. So I'm just going to show you some of the presets that I found were pretty cool to play around with. Here's all the factory presets. Here's all Rabea's presets. It's not even making it on the screen. And then you've got these artists that are friends of Rabea and friends of Neural DSP that made their own presets for him, which is super, super cool. We'll check out some of them in a minute. But let's start with Rabea's first preset, 80s Dream Transition. Let's go to a normal sounding guitar thing that he's put together. Modern Crunch Strat. What is Cleveland Steamer? That sounds fascinating. This one is called Dancing Fifths Synth. It sounds like the intro to Reading Rainbow, if you're old enough to remember LeVar Burton and Reading Rainbow. Here's something called Fuzzy Organ Vibes. Ooh, the tracking on that. That's one thing I should point out is the tracking with this synth module is really good for guitar. The Overlord synth is a mono synth, so you can't really play intervals or chords with it. Only single note stuff. Here is one called Tight Like a Tiger. Toit like, I think they should have spelled it T-O-I-G-H-T, but that's just me. Here's something called Cone Buster 2 synth. Electric Boogaloo. So let's actually check out some of the other artist presets. We've got our main man Mark Lettieri, C-Tune Chonker. Oh, I think I know what this is. Oh no! So check this out. So on this plugin, you've got this transpose section, so you can actually pitch shift your guitar signal to make it sound. I guess this is almost like a baritone. It's 4 semitones down, and the tracking is really good. So just as a reference, here it is not pitch shift. And we're going through, what are we going through exactly? We've got the octaver. Right? But we can pitch shift it all the way down to like an octave. We also have this crunchy octave riffer. Very Rage Against the Machine sounding. Let's check out Jack Gardner's presets. Crazy Arpeggio. I'm not even playing anything and it's sounding like a crazy arpeggio. It reminds me of that lick from that Night Rangers song, Rockin' America. You Can Still Rockin' America, that Jeff Watson is playing, the 8-finger tapping thing. So this might be a cool way to cheat that solo. And when you're not playing, it sounds like a video game. That's pretty cool. Layer your chords. Ah. So all those single notes that I just played are kind of reverberating together. All right, Jack, let's jump down to Tom Quayle. Hallied Tree Climbers. I have no idea what that is. Ooh. So we got a little bit of synth happening, right? Mixed. So this one is from Francisco Cresp. This is his Mega Man lead. Sorry, I had to do that. You know what? Let's go to the factory and see what the factory is giving us. Lovable synth. Oh, here's something called Why Is It Always Stranger Things? There you go. All right, folks, there you have it. That was kind of a quick overview of the Neural DSP Archetype Rabea plugin. If you want more information on it, I'll put the links down below. And as always, if you'd like to see more videos like this, gear demos or guitar lessons, click that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching. I'm RJ Ronquillo, and I'll see you in the next video.